Shalom, y'all. And I just want to give my review about the debate with Alizar on and Dr. Brown on Berean TV. Man, I watched the whole debate. It was uh it was educational, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought Alizar really showed how he was prepared. He was professional. He proved to be educated, um, self-educated or whatever. Uh, and he won the debate. All right. He won the debate in the first round to me. Dr. Brown went on like a 20-minute rant of just conjecture. He tried to use his little PowerPoints, but he wasn't bringing out no scripture, man. He didn't bring out no scripture. You feel me? He was an embarrassment to the college community. I think he embarrassed his university. I think he embarrassed anybody with a PhD. You know, he didn't. He looked like he thought he was just going to win off the merit of the fact that he had a PhD, and people would just take his word for it and just believe him, and he just thought he was just going to win like that. But Alizar won in the first round, man, and after that, it was just overkill, man. Dr. Brown was looking bad, man. He wasn't bringing out no scripture. It was just a bunch of rhetoric and conjecture. He was just running off emotion and just disagreeing with no scripture and no real factual evidence. It was all like basic stuff that you hear when you talking to somebody else online in the comments. Like they bring up some little stuff that they heard somebody else say. That's what it sounded like to me. Everything Dr. Brown brought out, I heard all them arguments before debating with people in the comments and stuff like that, man. He didn't bring out no new information. I watched it because I'm like, okay, this guy supposed to be a doctor, a PhD, so I'm gonna watch it. So whatever information he bring out, maybe I could step my game up. You know what I mean? But man, it wasn't. I was not impressed with Dr. Brown whatsoever, man. Whatsoever, man. And then when you watching it though, right? When you watching it, you could tell what's his name? You could tell Vocab knew that his Dr. Brown buddy was losing. You could just see it in his face. I enjoyed that because Vocab always coming with the Christian doctrine, and that's basically what Dr. Brown was, man, a bona fide Christian, man. He at the end when they was wrapping it up, he wanted to talk about salvation for all nations and all of them lies, that Christianity crap. But yeah, Alizar really represented for the Israelite community. I think he gained himself as well as his camp, as well as all Israelites, more respect in the secular world because he beat Dr. Brown like on every aspect, man, every aspect. Dr. Brown was losing so bad, he tried to say that Alizar was race baiting because he brought out a very important point. How he was just going off of the "I'm white, I'm right" theory. You know, I got a PhD, so my word is fact. You feel me? I went to college, so I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't, Mr. Brown. You really made yourself look like a clown. You ain't even got no beard, man. A man with a beard, with no beard, can't teach me nothing, man. He lost when I seen he didn't have no beard. But yeah, that's a sin. No beard, that's a sin, Mr. Brown. 1 John 3 verse 4. Christian garbage, man. But Alizar really beat dude, man. He really beat dude. Alizar looked like he had the PhD in there. You feel me? Dr. Brown looked like he was uneducated. I ain't gonna say he wasn't prepared because he got a PhD. I know he made a fool of himself. And Alizar made a fool of him too. Because he wasn't, Alizar was bringing out scriptures. He brought out the DNA point about the DNA evidence, how it's not valid, and how there ain't even no haplogroup to measure if anybody's a Jew or not, you know. So that destroyed most of Dr. Brown's talking points. And then Dr. Brown cut himself because he said the Israelites, he said us, we have too many numbers to be the people because Deuteronomy 28:62 says that you will be left few in number, but when you get brought back into the land, you will be multiplied as the stars, as the stars of heaven and as the sand of the sea. He cut himself with that one. That was at the end. If you watch the debate, that was at the end. He cut himself with that comment because he basically said that because his people is in the land, that they should be great in numbers because Almighty would be blessing them and multiplying their numbers. So he cut himself with that at the end. See, when you don't know scripture and you just be mouthing off, you don't be understanding what you're saying. And Dr. Brown does not understand scripture. He might know some scripture, but he don't understand it because everything Dr. Brown was saying was contradicting scripture, and then he kept cutting himself with his own words. If you know scripture, when you watch the debate, you'll see. He kept cutting himself with his own words, especially the part about how we would be few in number because we're in captivity. Now that's at the beginning of the captivity. We was few in number. But we've been multiplying for the last 400, 500 years. So, of course, our numbers have grown since they brought us over here because they was breeding us on the plantations, the breeding farms and stuff, man. See, Dr. Brown don't know none of the history. Then he tried to say that Deuteronomy 28:68 ain't talking about going into captivity. It's talking about going into Egypt and literal Egypt, but it was a plantation in Jamaica that's called Egypt. You can look it up. We in the ghettos right now. The ghetto, if you look up the etymology of ghetto, it goes back to Egypt. Ghetto. Look it up. But anyway, man, I had a good time watching it. It was exciting. You know, I put a couple comments in the comment board. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or make Israelites look bad or nothing, but dude was just rambling off emotion and conjecture. He wasn't bringing out no scripture. He wasn't bringing out no scientific facts, no archaeological facts to contradict the information that Alizar was bringing out. You know, everything Alizar was bringing out was, you could say certified, but it's another word I'm looking for. It was from a respected source. a verified source. It was all his information was from somebody educated, like Dr. Brown, supposed to be. But man, yeah, Dr. Brown need to just hang it up, man. If you thought Dr. Brown won, you do not know the Bible, and you just going off respected persons, man. If you thought Dr. Brown won, you just taking his word because he got a PhD. Because that man did not bring out no new information that you never heard of. He didn't bring out no scriptural points to discredit Alizar or to prove Alizar wrong at all. Excuse me. He didn't. He did not whatsoever. He made everybody, he let everybody who had hope in Dr. Brown or thought he was just going to destroy Alizar, he let all them people down. He let all them people down. That was like when your team lose the Super Bowl, let people down. That's how it was. Excuse me. Yeah, but Alizar did his thing, man. He definitely held his own. He definitely held it down for the nation. You know. He did. He should get all his flowers, his kudos, his props, his respect. He should get all that. He did a very great job. He did a very great job. He did. I was real impressed with the argument he made about the DNA evidence, though. I was really impressed with that. And I wish I could get my hands on that information, man. If he watched this, please show me the link to that information, the DNA research. I need that research, man. I need to study that part of the information spectrum, because that's good information to know. And I would recommend that all Israelites get that information if possible and study it too. And another point I want to bring out is brothers need to know that Zechariah 8:19 is talking about the Israelites fasting because the temple was destroyed on those days, and we went into captivity in those months. So brothers need to study that part too, because I seen a couple debates when brothers didn't even know that information, and they used Zechariah 18 to say that they're the true people because they keep those feasts, and they say we don't. So that's information that needs to be shared with the Israelite community that I've seen, whatever. But this is my review on the Alizar and Dr. Brown debate. It was a really good debate on Alizar's part. It was horrible for Dr. Brown, man. He really looked. He didn't look like no doctor or no PhD scholar or none of that. You feel me? I wouldn't buy not one of his books, man. Not one of his books, or I probably watch his lecture just so I could tear it apart, take it apart, but he was like a punching bag in the debate, man. But that's my observation on the debate. Shout out to Alizar. You did a very good job, sir. Shout out to Sakari. He really represented for y'all. And shout out to all the Israelites in the nation. I think he really went to bat for the people, and he really earned us all, as well as himself, some respect in the secular community. Y'all be safe out there and be strong.